Good morning, all. Welcome back to our class, Supply Chain Management. Under this Supply Chain Management, we are going to learn about the third block 3. In today's class, we are going to discuss the important aspects of block 3. Yes, the block 3, it tells about supply chain coordination. So, under this chapter, why this is included in the syllabus? So, being an operational management student, it's important to understand the supply chain, like logistic management. Along with that, supply chain coordination means supply chain involved with various drivers and various middlemen, right? So how this only with the coordination, successful supply chain management can be achieved, and responsiveness and efficient, efficient supply chain management can be operated by the organization. So in this chapter, in this block, we are going to learn about inventory management, supply chain performance, and the challenges and issues in supply chain management and technology, information technology in a supply chain management, new trends in supply chain management, right? So let us understand about each of these. So supply chain operations, see the supply chain coordination. Supply chain coordination is what it includes. So we already learned in the first block, that is a supply chain includes systems, structures, processes. All these includes in order to plan and execute the flow of goods and services from the origin to the final customer, right? So these all are involves in planning and executing the flow of goods from origin to the customer's place. So to maximize its effectiveness, is very much important for the organization to evaluate the internal operations and also the suppliers, customers also to be included in this for effective and responsiveness of a performance, right? So operations and supply chain management also we can call, because it's not only the internal organization or internal operations, it also involves the external middlemen like suppliers and customers, drivers, right? So what it do? So it as a part of the coordination, all these the system, the internal operations, suppliers, and customers will all involve in monitoring, maintaining, and improving the wide spectrum of the collaborative processes of the organization. So first topic in our this block is about inventory management. Let us see about inventory management, because just a minute. Yes, just not moving. Yeah. So supply chain operations, we are going to understand about the supply chain operations. Under this, what are the various supply chain operations, and how what is the importance of demand planning, aggregate planning, and forecasting the demand. Okay, after that, bullwhip effect. What is bullwhip effect? And then we also learn about warehousing management system and transportation management system, right? Let us see about this demand planning and demand forecasting. So this demand planning is the process of forecasting or predicting the demand of products, services, raw materials, human resources, and many more others, which make sure that in the process of supply chain, satisfactory performance of the supply chain in meeting the customer needs, right? Okay, so demand planning is it's a process. First, forecast what is the demand, okay, for the product or the services or the raw materials, because here these are the supply chain related demand forecasting. So it also forecast about the demand for the raw materials and the human availability of the raw human resources, right? So because you need to, in order to perform, make sure that you meet your customer needs, Okay, it's not only important delivering the goods on time and with the quality, it's also to do that, it is important for the organization to make sure there is an uninterrupted process of operations. So that comes only when you forecast the demand for your raw materials and the availability of the human resources for who involved, and also many other like in the previous block we learned transportation, logistics, and vehicles, the availability of the vehicles. Okay, and those are also the people who can professional or who can do the operations relating to the logistics management. Okay, and transportation effectively. Okay, purchasing, procuring the materials. These people also required. So it is important for the organization. So what are the elements that involve in demand planning? Demand planning is a collaborative activity. Okay, within the organization and various areas within the organization. The goal of with the goal of producing a reliable and accurate prediction of demand. So it is a collaborative activity across various areas of the organization, and the entire activities of the departments in the organization goal is producing a reliable and accurate prediction about the demand, especially the people who involved in this demand forecasting. So what it involves? It involves gathering the information and the collected information, interpreting the collected information, and by interpretation, evaluating the internal and external aspects of the information. Okay, and based on that, formulating the future demand predictions. Okay, so this effective planning will enable the organization to meet its requirements. So next, so demand planning involves what involves is it's a collaborative activity and various departments areas within the organization, and the goal is to provide a reliable and accurate prediction of demand. So it involves the planning involves the process of gathering, interpreting, evaluating intrinsic and extrinsic information and formulating it into a prediction of future demand. That is the planning, right? So why it is important? It transforms the reactive processes into a proactive process. That's the reason why it is important. These lines, if you write about demand for forecasting, okay, so it involves what it is and what forecasting involves what activities, and why demand forecasting information is important. The next one is demand forecasting. Yes, the forecasting is here one of the steps we said in the planning. It forecasts the demand, means future demand. How the future demand going to be? Okay, with relation to the goods, with relation to like the type of goods that the customers are expecting, the quantity we can, that the demand, the quantity of products that they may get orders or demanded by the customers, and what time is required. Okay, when the goods are required, demanded, and where these goods are highly requirement, like what time, in which area the demand is more. Okay, and what amount of inventory need to be allocated. Okay, in order to meet the customer demand according to the time requirements. So all this will be forecasted. Forecasted means through the proper forecasting techniques and tools, they get into the, they collect the information. Okay, they collect the information with regard to this. So what are these all? Okay, and how much it is not only that, by meeting those expectations, by providing such, goods according to such demand, what is the maximum ROI, return on investment, to the organization? That also they will forecast. Okay. So these are the crucial elements, depends on which the demand will be dependent. After that, the forecasting, the proper technology to support the demand planning will be used, and then Forecast improved when casual influences are considered when analyzing the historical data. They also take the historical data. It is not only the future expectations and future forecasting the future demand. It is also considering the historical demand, how it is affected, also will be understood. Okay. The next one is the here you can write what is forecasting. Forecasting involves what, and while forecasting, what do they do, what information and how do they collect. Statistical forecasting using the historical data, then adding additional intelligence. Okay, using the statistical analysis for of the historical data also, and then technology support. Mm, oh, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so technology support, all these will be used in a forecasting. After that, you also can write it is generally forecasting takes place in a macro level, means it is not only within the organization, not only the industry level, because I want to know it's not only about the demand of the customers. It also has to know, a firm has to know what are the industry trend, and what is the form level, at the form level, and who are my competitors, and what are the trends of those competitors, where they are standing, am I in a competitive way, can I compete with them, and then at industry level, how much it is feasible, all that. So it's a macro level of demand forecasting. Okay, and general economic conditions in this paragraph also you can include while writing your demand forecasting, all that middle whatever, if you write or not in 1 or 2 sentences, but here this paragraph you enter. And then finally, types of forecasting, what kind of different forecasting will there, as I mentioned, economic forecast, employee market forecast, and company sales expansion forecast. The economic forecast means in the market, what are the economic trends, like industry level, firm level, and national level. Okay, you need to forecast how the trend is going. Is it depression period or inflation? How the inflation, how the market prices are fluctuating, government related. All these will be taken into consideration. Employee market forecast, yes, availability of the employees and the demand, the skills required, and all these also to be uh, studied. Then company sales expansion forecast. Yes. After these, now relating to my company, I'm supposed to forecast how much, how far I can able to expand my sales, what quantity, what is my ability, my funds, and then my raw material procurement, acquisition policies, the availability of the stock, with relation to that again availability of the materials, and my production capacity, all those also to be studied. Okay, and the so different, three different types of forecasting will be there, and this forecasting will be done in a qualitative as well as quantitative aspects. Okay, which is important, both are necessary to be important. Then methods, different methods again, straight line method, moving average, simple linear regression, multiple linear regression. Using these different methods, and these generally for the quantitative forecasting, these methods are required. Okay, so these methods, using these methods, a business entity will forecast the demand in a quantitative aspects, and also important to see the qualitative aspects. Okay. The next one is aggregating plan. Yes, aggregate planning strategies. What is aggregate plan? Aggregate planning is developing an overall aggregate, like individual and overall. So a manufacturing plan that ensures uninterrupted production at a facility. So after forecasting, then different aspects they'll in different aspects they forecast the demand, and finally in an aggregate, what is the ability of the organization and overall manufacturing plan will be made in order to see uninterrupted production at the facilities department. Now then, so aggregate planning strategies, different strategies will be over: level strategy, case strategy, hybrid strategies. These are self-explanatory, you can learn. Then aggregate demand, as we said, quantitative assessment will be made with relation to the materials, price, and like from economic, firm level, and organization level. All these will be brought together and forecasted by bringing the correlation between the price levels and demand, and then a final ability of the organization in meeting this demand will be calculated under forecast, like estimated. So objectives, why do they go for aggregate planning? This self-explanatory. You can write increased demand. How do the firms go increase demand to meet availability capture? Like different strategies. Aggregate capacity. What is a capacity management? Is a process of estimating overall volume and ability to perform entire resources of the company. Okay, company, whatever the resources are there, what is the overall volume of the resources, means the quantity and the in terms of human resource, the number of employees, and how much, what is the ability of the firm in the meeting the requirements. All these will be the capacity of the firm in terms of its assets, in terms of its human resource, in terms of its inventory. All these will be considered and make sure that what is the overall aggregate capacity of the firm in meeting the required demand. So in that firm again, it need to carry out its functions according to the it may not able to meet the demand, but or the more than the demand it may be in the position. So what are the strategies the business entities use based on their aggregate capacity requirements? Okay, this is what here: increase demand to meet the available capacity, increase capacity to meet existing demand. These are the two strategies the firm will go. These are self-explanatory. You can meet. Next one is managing predictable variability. Yeah, you can take this last bullwhip effect, and you can expect this in small answers. I thought of present PPT. Yes, it's income. Lack of coordination in supply chain results in poor supply chain response and increased cost within supply chain. So if the supply chain, the drivers in the supply chain has no proper coordination, what happens? The supply chain response will be poor and the cost of the supply chain will increase. This kind of effect we call as the bullwhip effect in the supply chain. So what is the bullwhip effect? Bullwhip effect means the supply chain, when there is no coordination among the supply chain drivers, and the supply chain response will be poor, and that leads to the increase in the cost of the supply chain. That is called a bullwhip supply chain effect in the supply chain. So due to this effect, what happens? Yes, sales will be fluctuated because you are not meeting the requirements. So no proper logistics management is not there. What happens? You will not be able to deliver on time, right? Your sales will fluctuate. And larger and larger fluctuation in orders at higher stages in the supply chain. See, when you are not able to, simple aspect you take in the e-commerce portal, what you call platforms only, whoever delivers you quickly to through that portal and you place the orders, right? The same thing with the organization level also. If the organization is not able to provide proper delivery and on-time deliveries, and due to the lack of proper logistics management, it faces the fluctuations in its sales. Means orders will come down. That leads to the decrease in the sales, right? So that is the one of the effect. And then next, the continuation means the implied effect on that is that leads to the where large shortage or large surplus capacity is well in the supply chain. So if I'm not able to meet properly, I'll be able to have a surplus capacity in my warehouses, right? If proper demand forecasting and is not done properly, I may not able to meet the demand, so sales will get fluctuated again. In such case also your sales get affected, and you will have a large shortage of materials to meet the demand requirements. So this is the first paragraph important, which you are supposed to write to get the good marks for this answer. The next one is this figure you can write. It's a simple figure. You can draw this. And it's not only writing this write about these lines, what is bullwhip effect and how it affects on the shows impact on the business. Okay, the alternative impact, how it leads to, three sentences. Then so because of these irregular orders, the lower part of supply chain developed to be more distinct higher up in the supply chain. The variance can interrupt the smoothness of the supply chain process at each link in the supply chain, lower and underestimate the product demand, resulting in exaggerated fluctuations. So how these fluctuations goes is what this picture shows. Okay, and these lines you can explain. You can give as an explanation to this picture. Okay, so one is impacted means it automatically shows in the, that is the reason we are calling it as a chain, right? So if one is affecting, the rest all will automatically shows their impact and interrupt the smoothness of the supply chain process at every link, and will alternatively leads to the demand will come down, and exact means extensive fluctuations you may need to face, right? That's the thing. And the next one is bullwhip effect. Again, example has been given. It's if you understand what it is, you can explain. Otherwise, please don't go to. Yes. First effect of bullwhip, first one is on the supply chain cost. What is the first effect? Your supply chain cost will increase due to the bullwhip effect. Means when there is no, remember what is bullwhip effect? When there is no coordination, the supply chain, see here, the first paragraph here. So what is the bullwhip effect? The lack of coordination in supply chain results poor supply chain response and increase the cost, right? That is what I explained with you. So when there is no coordination in the supply chain, that leads to the poor supply chain process. So the first impact is increase in the cost. How it increases? Manufacturing cost increases, inventory, because you already made a supply chain, there is no proper means coordination leads to increasing the manufacturing. Whatever your labor, your material suppliers, or your transporter, whoever is not coordinating, your manufacturing supply cost will increase. Next one is inventory cost. You may be arranged properly the your inventory. You need to, by storing for a long time, or to grab the inventory, whatever at the different levels, you need to pay high. Okay, replenishment lead time. The lead time in order to disperse your finished products again will increase. That leads to increase in your cost. The transportation cost, when there is no coordination, automatically transportation labor cost will again for shipping the receiving the goods will increase. Product availability will decrease, will fluctuate. Okay, relationship across the entire supply chain get affected. All these are self-explanatory points. You can just read, and important also, what is effect, bullwhip effect in on supply chain cost. Okay, or various factors, right? The next one, factors contributing to bullwhip effect. Why this bullwhip effect comes? What we said, bullwhip effect means the lack of coordination in the supply chain, right? So this lack of coordination in supply chain, why that coordination is lacking in the supply chain? What are the reasons? What are the factors that causing for this lack of coordination among the supply chain drivers? So first is disorganization, like each supply chain link with ordering larger or smaller amount of product than needed due to an over and under reaction. So at every level, supplier, manufacturer, warehouses, distributors, at every level, when there is either the larger orders or the smaller amounts of product are there, automatically you will not see you are the supplier and manufacturer. Manufacturer would like to buy products only what is required. And you, as you have the large quantities and your supplier is not, your manufacturer is not buying, you will not show that interest. You will search for the another manufacturer who can buy your huge quantities. Or in the other terms, you have a shorter products as a manufacturer. I think the other aspect, as a manufacturer, you have a shorter products, and you're not giving regular distribution of dispatching the goods regularly for distribution. What the dealer will do? Dealer will not show interest to hold your stocks and sell, because you are not meeting the demand. So you will not be able to pay proper commissions, discounts. So you will not show interest. So this kind of different disorganization at every level lead to the lack of coordination, like lack of communication. When there is no proper communication, again, okay, free written policies, order batching, price variation, information demand, all these are the self-explanatory. You can go important for them. Next one is warehouse management. What is warehouse management? It's an operations, a complex discipline that requires several layers of coordination to be successful, because in warehousing system, standard platform is used, centralized and warehouse processing. So it is not only warehouse control, you need to manage warehouse logistics, inventory management. It's a very complex system platform, because it's not only with you store the goods, you need to maintain the stocks. That is what inventory management. You need to make sure the logistics are properly, and you need to maintain the control. You should have the control over the warehouse inventory. Okay. So warehouse management, key performance indicators, how effectively you manage your warehouse with the various aspects, and what are the priorities to be given. What are the key key priority has to be given. Okay, so these all points you can just write a okay, that is also important. Next one is transportation management system. Okay, we got that. So these are the points, important aspects which you can learn from this. So the types of operations: automation, third party warehousing. What is third party warehousing, and what is kitting? Okay, and you can expect in the short answers. Then value added warehousing. Okay, the next one is role of importance of handling systems. Yes, systems. What is its role and their importance? What is material handling at warehouse? Okay, so right. So what is demand planning, demand forecasting? What is what do you call the factors that influence the okay, and warehouse management system. Okay, under the warehouse management, you can what are the various factors to be considered, key factors to be considered. Okay, what is value added warehousing means? You can learn from this. Bullwhip effect is important, and what are the implications of bullwhip effect on the business? You can learn from this. Now, moving on to the second next unit in the third block: inventory management in supply chain. Here, you are supposed to, excuse me. The important one is inventory. What is inventory and what is inventory management? What inventory cost means? Okay, role and importance of inventory in supply chain, and what are the various inventory policies, models of inventory is what important. Let us see here. Inventory is what? The materials. Inventory, a firm may be having a three different types of raw materials. Those are raw materials. Inventory may be of three different, including all these together. Collective name will be given as a inventory. Okay. idle stock of physical goods that contain economic value and are held in various forms by organization. So this is the important line to write. What is inventory? So this will be in the three different forms, in the form of raw material as it is, whatever you got it from your supplier, and then work in progress. Certain inventory may be already started utilizing for the manufacturing purpose. They are taking a shape for the finished goods. Those are called work in progress. And consumables, when converted into the like materials do not directly enter the production, but they act as a catalyst. Means may be classified according to the consumption and critical byproducts and all that comes. Finished goods, a final product. Space, space like even the space form a part of the inventory, like raw materials related and finished goods. A different form of space will be used. Hmm? The stocking those also important. Take an example. Yes. Okay. Yes. The different types of space are there. Certain space will be used as per the requirement and the process of manufacturing, the production. Okay. Right. You will get this. So wood, if you take a furniture, wood is the raw material. Work in progress, wood which is cut into sheets like tabletops and legs for the tables. All those is a work in progress. And consumables. While doing this work, whatever that waste, wood waste comes, that can be again used for other purposes. That is consumables. Okay, and finished good. A final furniture, whatever you bring, a table, a chair, or whatever. So far said, that all comes with the final products. And space. What are the space here? To fix your table, chair, whatever the fixtures you use. Okay, fitting items you use, those comes under the space. Okay, so like the different the purpose of holding inventory. Why a organization hold a inventory? What is the reason? Why can't it complete it? So it holds the inventory for different purposes: the transaction motive, precautionary motive, and speculative motive. You can expect this. Inventory management. What is inventory management? Making sure the managing, storing, moving, sorting, and arranging, counting, and maintaining the inventory involves the inventory management. So this is important for the organization to make sure that the core process of business will continuously run effectively and efficiently without any wastage of money or time or material. So this the very purpose of the inventory management is to make sure reduce the cost and optimum utilization of resources. Next. You can generally investment management objectives and all in cost accounting topic you will get. If you have the cost accounting subject, you can prefer that. Okay, even in inventory cost, what are the various inventory cost? In carrying cost, order or setup cost, expected stock out cost, and in transit inventory carrying cost. Carrying cost, about each of these given here. Inventory carrying cost, these are very simple terms, and you can learn with a self-explanatory. That's the meaning of each of the cost if you give is enough. Okay. And this what is the ordering cost, what is the expected cost, and transit cost. Individual questions also you may get. Role and importance of inventory cost, inventory and supply chain is important. You can expect in the long answer. Okay. The next one is inventory policies. What are the different inventory policies that the firm has? Fixed order quantity system, okay, and fixed time period system. Means a firm may follow a fixed order quantity every time on rotation, according to its organizational policy. A fixed order it plays with the suppliers. Okay. The next one is the fixed time period system. So model fixed time period is system determines time period based on the time periods. Go on placing the orders. Order quantity, target inventory level, inventory position. So it also always wants to maintain a targeted inventory level. In such case, on a fixed time periods, it keep maintaining the stock. The next one is, yeah, the difference you can learn. This one is the important for your short answer questions. Models of inventory, just in time is important. You can expect in long as well as in short answer. All points are self-explanatory. Okay, and vendor managed inventory. Yeah, you can give last. Economic order quantity. What is economic order quantity? What is its important? A theoretical aspect you can learn here. The problems and questions won't be coming if it is it's only a theory paper. Okay, and assumptions of UOQ model and limitations of UOQ model. As I mentioned, economic order quantity also is an important topic which you can learn and expect under the long answer questions. Uh, what are the different inventory control techniques? In a short answer, you can expect. Okay, yes. Now moving on to the next topic. Supply chain. As I mentioned in previous class, these case studies, wherever you got the case studies, understand. So using your AI tools, you can easily get your answers for these case studies. It's not that getting answers, it's important to understand the concept of the case study. In the case study, what exactly they are testing you. They are expecting you to answer. That way, you understand the case study and try to take different similar type of case studies because in the examination you will get our case study also. A case, okay, I'll repeat once again. Case study, uh, it's not only getting the answers for this case study, it's important to understand what perspective this case study is given and what this case study is testing you to understand. In that perspective, in the similar aspect, if you able to understand the case study, you will able to answer your questions in the examination, case study questions in the examination. Yes. Next one is supply chain performance measures. What are the measures that are used in order to test how the supply chain is performing? Like, so first, before that, it is important to understand the framework of supply chain performance and their measures, various measures. There involves qualitative and quantitative measures to test to measure the supply chain performance. And then tens of metric, one of the metric is there. Let us understand about that. And what is SCO or performance model? These are the topics which we learn under the supply chain performance. Supply chain performance measures qualitative, quantitative, tens of metric consideration, operational performance of supply chain partners, and financial performance. Operational is a qualitative, and financial performance is a quantitative measure. Balance scorecard. What is balance scorecard? Is what we understand. So under this supply chain performance measures framework, what is supply chain performance measures? Reduce based organization competitive strategy. The competitive strategy majorly falls into the efficient or responsive supply chains. Okay, so how we say if organization is competitive in the market with respect to the supply chain, how efficient it is, in handling its supply chain, and how responsive it is, okay, with the various supply chain links in the supply chain, right? So this is based on these, a competitive strategy will be adopted. In the beginning also, in the first block, I said supply chain is what? The responsiveness and efficiency of the organization. How, right? In order to uh, improve its operations in supply chain, organization would like to see how effective and responsive it is. That always struggle and keep on working on it. So various two approaches are there, quantitative and qualitative approaches. Okay, using these approaches, like in qualitative are with relation to quality of the product, flexibility in the operations, visibility, okay, and trust and innovativeness in what how the organization is going on is what the supply chain performance is tested. Quantitative aspect, quantitative measures, so non-financial measures, financial measures. Under the quantitative measures, financial measures and non-financial measures are there. Let us see the non-financial measures. The one of the metric is non-financial measure, which is relating to the cycle time, customer service level, inventory level, resource utilization ability to perform the flexibility and quality of services. So, non-financial measures. This is under the quantitative again. Don't get confused. Cycle time. Cycle time is called lead time. Means how much time organization is taking in end-to-end delay in the business process. Okay. Business process of interest, supply chain process, order to delivery process. Means from manufacturer, receiving or the goods, materials from a manufacturer, supplier, to delivering the goods, final products to the final consumer. What is the time? Time gaps that you are taking, how much time it is taking you, order delivery, okay, the entire process, how much time it taking, all these will be, so it is called a lead time, supply chain lead time and order to delivery lead time. Order to delivery lead time is what time delay in the middle of the placement of order by customer and delivery of products to the customer. So order to delivery, one, the customer takes time in placing the order, made, okay. The second, delivery of products to the customer. Okay, so these two comes under the the order delivery lead time. Item is in stock, similar distribution lead time and order management time. If the order is item needs to be produced, it would be summation of supplier lead time, manufacturing lead time, distribution lead time, and order management time. So what is that? So in case item means the final product is ready, available for the stock, then distribution lead time will take time or order management time will take. If the order is placed but the item is not produced, it is a combination of supplier lead time, manufacturing lead time, distribution lead time, and order management time. Means okay. So supply chain lead time, this all together is a supply chain lead time, because either the manufacturer not supplied or the other links in the supply chain may be delayed, or distribution taking place time, or order management and delivering your product may be taking time. Okay. So supplier lead time is a manufacturing lead time, distribution time, logistics lead time, transport of raw materials from supplier to the plants, and for shipment, this all. So, okay, lead time supply chain is governed by the halls in the interface. So no need, you can write this enough. Hence, what is the supply chain lead time? What is the order to delivery lead time? If you explain this, is enough. Okay. Now, next one, customer service level. The next one is under the non-financial aspect under quantitative. So, why we said this is quantitative but non-financial? Because time related, that lead times related, but this lead time gap, increase or decrease in the lead time, may impact your sales, which impact your revenue. That is the reason it is under quantitative but a non-financial. Customer service level in supply chain is marked as an operation of multiple unique performance indices. Three measures will be taken to measure the performance, supply chain performance: order fill rate, customer demand that can easily satisfy from the stock available. Okay. So the order fill rate could be with respect to a central warehouse or the field warehouse or stock at any level in the system. So you have a customer demand, but how much time you are taking to fill your customer demand is what it shows impact on your performance. Stock out rate, you have a other one is stock out rate. You received an order. If the reverse of order fill rate marks the portion of orders lost because of stock out. So you missed certain orders because you don't have the stocks. That shows impact on your sales, ultimately on your revenue. Back order level, there's just total number of orders waiting to be filled. You got received the orders, but you still not placed delivered. Or so in this, some orders may be cancelled by the customers. Again, shows impact on your sales and revenue. Probability of on-time delivery is a portion of customers' orders that are completed on time within the agreed upon due date. Yes. This again. See, if you receive the order within the date or due date given, okay. Otherwise, certain times the customer may cancel his orders, which shows impact on your sales and revenue again. So this is customer service level at different levels will be checked. The performance of the organization in providing customer service at different levels will be checked, which is non financial but quantitative. Inventory levels, as inventory carrying cost increase the total cost significantly. Carrying cost means your storage, warehousing, all these will raw material, work in finished goods inventory, spare parts, all these leads to cost, total cost, increase in total cost. So how effectively you are using this is shows impact on your inventory. Okay. Resource utilization, how you are utilizing your resources, various resources, manufacturing resources, like materials, machines, tools and all, storage resources, warehouses. Okay, all these how you are utilizing logistics, your trucks, transport, carriers, cargo, all these. You organization may be having different resources. How differently, how you are handling these resources, utilizing these resources effectively. And okay, human resources relating to your labor and professionals, technical people, all these financial resources relating to your working capital and cost. All the utilization of resources also will show impact on the performance of the organization, supply chain performance. Okay. Any of these resources are not utilized, it leads to impact on your cost or revenues. That's the reason why these are not properly utilizing your resources is a non-financial aspect, and their impact showing on your revenue is a financial aspect. That's the quantity. Okay. Now coming to the so under the non-financial quantitative aspects, you have four. Okay. And now coming to the financial measures under the quantitative aspect, like how in financially how the supply chain performance is tested is the cost of raw material, revenue from goods sold, activity-based cost, inventory holding cost, all these in terms of the cost and the expenditure that the firm meet comes under the financial measures. Now coming to the other key metrics for measuring supply chain performance. Inventory measurement, working capital handling measurements, and the lead time you are taking, right? So we make sure that the quantitative here, this topic is important under the quantitative measures, about which you are supposed to, and long answer you can expect. You need to write about this. I explained all the okay. Financial measures are self-explanatory, so I'm not going deeper into that. Now moving on to next one. Qualitative measures. Qualitative measures in terms of their performance. Okay, customer complaints. Okay, quality performance measures. How many customer complaints are registered by the company? How many are solved? And what is the customer response to your orders? Okay, and relating to your quality of product or your delivery related, your cost related. Okay, lead time, how much time you are taking. Okay, then required to product the product. to complete from the manufacturing beginning process to the end process, how much time you are taking, that also on time delivery, what is the percentage of delivery of the goods that are made on time, okay, fill rate, proportion of orders that can be filled immediately, how many orders that you filled immediately, means transported immediately on receipt of the orders, accuracy, how accurately delivered the goods. See, sometimes we used to get, we order something and we received something else, right? Such kind of all these shows impact on the performance of the supply chain. Okay, so quality performance measures are these very self-explanatory, which we face, e-commerce platforms. So any of these shows impact on the that may be the result of the lack of coordination in the supply chain. Okay, so either from the manufacturer side or the distributor side or transportation handling side. Okay, anything. Now, 10 soft metric considerations in measuring supply chain performance. What is this 10 soft metric? Okay. Collaboration and frequent communication between supply chain partners, including considered at one time of as a competitor, customer service level. So there are 10. Okay. These are the 10. You can also, if possible, I'll try to provide a PPT on this topic one in next class. Set of metric considerations in measuring supply chain. So, what are the metrics that are considered in measuring the supply chain performance? Okay, this is one of the metric is collaboration and frequent communication between the various supply chain partners. And then customer service levels, at what level customer services they are paying. But okay, and then effective and successful key performance indicators, balance scorecard, using supply chain, how effectively a supply chain is used. Considering this, the supply chain technology use and will also be used, means how effectively organization using its supply chain technology, and that also helps in measuring the efficiency of the organization. RFID, IEDC, and LOT. This will get in the next under the information technology that used in the supply chain. Okay, Internet of Things and all these all will get under the risk management methods. How effectively organization adopting and implementing these various risk management methods in the handling of supply chain effectively, responsiveness. Okay, that also will be considered while measuring the supply chain effectiveness. Cyber security systems, because they are using information systems and technology in their operations. So how effectively it is implementing its cyber security system and not getting a victim of the cyber crimes. That also will be measured in a one of the metric in measuring the supply chain performance. Global positioning system, how effectively it is positioning itself in the global market. Okay. Need not to write all these years, don't worry. Just what it is, if you mention it's enough. Supply chain visibility. Okay. And the next one is staying abreast to the state of the art and supply chain management. I mean, taking the advanced technologies and updating itself according to the requirements in the market, how effectively it is doing that, also one of the metric in measuring the supply chain performance, right? So these 10 metrics are important. 10, what is this? So 10 soft metric considerations. So don't get confused. It is not a specific technical term. So what are the metrics that are used to measure the supply chain performance? How many are there? There are 10. Okay. And those are relating to the soft side of the organization, means performance side of the organization. So operational performance of SC partners. Next one is what? Financial performance. These two together in a one point and one question you can be asked. So don't try to draw all these and don't waste your time. Those pictures are given to make you understand the concept. While understanding, if you read, you will be able to explain that. Okay, simple drawing, you may not get everywhere. So such kind of pictures, simply drawing, wasting your time. Okay. Instead of that, each of that point, if you write in a 2-3 sentences and explain beautifully, that makes your time, saves your time in the exam, and also makes you score good. Balance scorecard. This is another one which you also get in your HR topic. Okay, balance scorecard. Holistic. This is the one which is used to measure the holistic framework of a supply chain performance. Balance scorecard is a holistic framework used by business and management strategists to measure performance, set goals, and prioritize projects. Okay. So to look beyond financial performance data. So this picture you can draw, and from this picture you can explain simply. Financial perspective means holistic, right? Considering all aspects of the organization, balance financial perspective, customer perspective, learning growth perspective. In all these aspects, a firm supply chain performance will be measured. Customer perspective, how effective a firm in meeting the customer satisfaction. What is the percentage of customer retention? What is the percentage of market share that the firm has? What is the brand strength that the firm has? Based on these, from the customer's perspective, the supply chain performance effectiveness can be measured. Then learning growth perspective, employee satisfaction, how the employees are satisfied in the organization. What employee turnover means, what how many employees are leaving the organization yearly. That the rate of employees leaving the organization tells the what you call the tells about the organization and its policies. Employee skills, what are the various skills that the employees are having? Okay, employee education, you can easily explain these all. It's a self-explanation topic. Okay, and important. If you don't have the HR paper here under this your operational PG diploma in operational management, you can expect this question in the right. The scorecard approach for ROA. The next one is operational performance, financial performance. The next one is operational performance. Okay. Development of scorecard. What are the methods used in developing a scorecard? So these are the topics. Then now let's move on to next one as timing running out. I'm just pulling. Now, under this information technology in supply chain management. Yes, this is the important one again. What is the role of information technology in supply chain, and what is the IT framework, and what is supply chain in IT in context of the supply chain, different trends in the information technology with relation to the supply chain, and what are the various concepts like data warehousing, ERP, big data, machine learning, and supply chain. See, these are the new trends in the relating to the supply chain. Being an operational management students, okay, I hope you are expecting to get into this line of careers. So make sure that you possess these skills in your resume. Okay, so data warehousing, big data, machine learning, supply chain, and also many more are there. Whatever you are getting here with relating to these applications, if you are skilled enough, you will get the opportunities just like this. So if you are interested in getting the career into the operational management, make sure that you also possess these skills. Okay, enhance your skills by entering by completing these related courses. Now let us see information technology. Yes, what is information technology? We know the growth of information technology has brought a tremendous impact on the organizations and their operations with the organization level to the world level. Okay, it because it gives various solutions to various operational issues, and whether it is the system design or functional issues or documentation or data transfer with relating to this, you can give as an introduction. Okay, so the use of information from planning has always been recognized. Okay, so the role of proper availability and communication, processing for strategic and even tactical decision making, this IT enables and improves your performance. The next one is uh, yes. The two major reasons for the application of IT integration. Why ISM, supply chain management, use the ITs? The two reasons. One, the spatial spread of the manufacturing service activities, like these manufacturing service activities are widely spread over the national level to the world level, right? So the next one is find element in planning, both of which require data in intensive decision making. Yes, because of this widespread of these activities, it became more important for the planning, where planning and decision making use for which the data is intensive data requirement is more. There is an intensive data requirement because of these two reasons. One, widespread of manufacturing service activities. The second one is intensive requirement of data in planning and decision making. These two are the reasons where the IT has applications are become major importance for the SCM. Yes. Coming to the importance of information, the same thing is different forms, supply chain information, manufacturing, it everywhere, as I mentioned, for planning, communication sake, information is very important. Okay, so characteristics of information supply chain. Uh, in supply chain information required to be, see, these are the various, at various levels, the information is required in the supply chain, at a supplier level, manufacturer level, distribution, retailing level, demand level. At all these levels, information is required, right? And this information must be accurate, accessible on time, and in a right kind. So when this at various level, when the information is accurate, accessible on time, and in a right way, it leads to success. It is makes supply chain operations responsive and efficiently. That our responsiveness and efficiency of supply chain operations will improve. That's the reason why it is important. Okay, the next one is use of information in supply chain. How do it? Why this information is important? Because it is used at different levels. Information is important, and it is used in planning, forecasting, and what you call identifying the needs, issues, and communicating, managing the customer requirements. Right? As at this, all these are points which tells about the use of information in a supply chain, right? The next one is so. So these all are like an introduction to why information technology is used in the supply chain. So information at different levels, they flows the information at different levels with accuracy, time, and right kind way. And this information which flows at different levels with the accuracy and timely and in a proper kind, used by the organization and the supply chain partners, the drivers in the supply chain for different purposes, because of which this supply chain, the information technology in supply chain has came up and given priority. Understood? I'll repeat once again. The at different levels, information is important to be flow. The flow of information is important at different levels, and with the right information and a proper information, timely information, and accurate information at a different levels, the information is required in supply chain because it is used for various reasons by various drivers or partners in the supply chain. So this vast expansion of this information, use of information at different levels for different purposes led to the introduction or adoption of information technology in the supply chain. So macro processes, okay, internal supply relationship management, internal supply chain management, customer relationship management. Because macro process, because supply chain at a macro level means it's not only relation to the organization itself and the firm itself, it's with relation to the maintaining, in order to maintain, we got this supply relationship management in our second chapter, right? Supply relation, in order to maintain proper streamline of interactions between the enterprise and the suppliers, it is important. And internal supply chain management within the organization, supply chain management is important again. Various focus of entire organization at different levels, different departments, activities is important. And customer, in order to have good relations with the customer, to understand the customer and make the to meet the customer needs and get the customer satisfaction, it is important. Customer relationship management, the process that focuses on downstream the interactions between the enterprise. See, sending, so you cannot collect the information physically, what you collect through the internet, right? Through the information technology, use of information. So for these all purposes, this information technology is required, okay, at a macro level. Now I focus on macro process because these all are important chains in the supply chain, or important links in the supply chain. So it is important to focus at the macro level. The role of information technology in the supply chain now. Yes, information technology role, how it plays important role. If you understand the whatever I discussed now, the same points, how the information technology plays important role in the supply chain, you can write. Okay, so these points again self-explanatory. Now, the information enabler, technology information enabler. Yes, strategies, decision, planning decisions, operational decisions. At all these levels, informational technology enables the organization use it effectively. The next one is supply chain, the context of information technology. And here you have been given various, see, I said now we get these various information technology related applications that are used in the supply chain. Okay, some of these like ERP and what do you call features. ERP related, you can expect a question as a long answer as well as a short answer. Okay, and next one is internet, extranet, the difference between the internet and extranet. Okay, the next software analytical applications, the other applications are there. Just give a reading as a preparation strategy. I said give this topic you can give last important. Okay, the planning analytical application, because why I said last important, because it's a little difficult. So once you complete the all important aspects of this topic, this chapter or this unit, then go to this one. Okay, because the terminology and all the titles and all are difficult, so don't waste your time on this. ERP you give complete reading for prepare for a long answer as well as a short answer. Next, planning analytical applications of information. Yeah, the future trends that shaping information technology in the supply chain. Yes, this you can give. Shorten this. See here, these are the future trends. Whatever you are learning, I stress upon this. The students who prefer this operational management, diploma in operational management. So also along with this diploma certificate, also try to gain the skills or knowledge, certificates in this data mining, data warehousing, okay, and related machine learning, Internet of Things skills. If you gain, you'll have a wide opportunities in the market. So, right? So that's about what you call trends. Yes, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, radio frequency identification, warehouse management system, blockchain. Even blockchain is one of the upcoming career. If you have the knowledge of blockchain technology, electronic commerce. So you may think, ma'am, instead of okay, so why I'm not discussing this all in a shorter version, you will easily uh, can write about this. No, don't go deeper explanation of these under the future trends in the information technology with relation to supply chain. Just a brief of introduction of each of these trends you can take. Okay, this self preparation, self gathering of these information will help you to understand this is what are these and their importance. Okay, and as time also going up, just I would like to wind up this. Right, the next one is enabled advantages of information technology enabled SCM. Yes, the whoever enabled this information technology in the supply chain management will have these following advantages. It's a self-explanatory and do concentrate, and is important from the examination perspective. See here, you are not given all those future trends in the okay. But I say you just give reading and using your AI tools, you please understand about these, and those are going to be the future careers also. This gaining knowledge and having certification in these future trends related aspects, along with your diploma in operational management, you will have a wide career opportunities, and quickly you will be absorbed by the organizations, taken by the organizations, or chosen by the organizations. Right. All the best. Here with I'm winding up this block 3. I hope I covered all the important aspects of this block 3. In our next class, let us come with a block 4, which is relating to the supply chain strategies. Just a minute, please don't go unaware. I'll just take one pic. I forgot to. Right. Thank you. Sure.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.